Morning Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. and anime and manga contributor to Pounding into Comics, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for PPPPPP chapter 29. So before I get into this recap and live reaction, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and we ain't sponsored by, Shueisha, we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and now we ain't sponsored by Fizz either. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, kind of surprising we're not, right? And we're a one-woman operation struggling to keep a roof over our head and praying that we're not going to be stuck in the streets. I don't want to be living on the streets. But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation afloat so I can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit on my Cash App and PayPal. Those links are in the description box below. So, ooh, my fellow nerdigans, I got some great news in regards for numbers for PPPPPPPP. Them mofos were hating. These mofos were hating on this manga. Well. How the tides have changed, first of all, in the Western manga community. People are actually coming around to this manga. That makes me so happy. I'm glad people are starting to see. Japan has already seen that this manga is the new Piano no Mori. Very happy with that. But in the first 4 weeks, according to Bisha, who thank God for Bisha on Twitter for compiling these numbers, the first 4 weeks, this manga has sold 12,169 copies, and that's for Volume 1. And we got the numbers for Volume 2 as well. Hold on a second. Let me grab the numbers for Volume 2. Where are you, Volume 2? So, the first week of Volume 2, PPPPP sold 13,970 copies, so we're doing pretty decent. Not as decent as, like, obviously other series, but we're doing decent. This manga is not getting the chop. When I remember certain people in the Western manga Twitter community was saying that this manga deserved it. To get the chop, I mean. It's not going anywhere. So happy. So happy. Anyways, last chapter of this manga, it was very, very interesting, to say the least, because you had Zorchika saying that he could hear that there was some doubt from Melody through her Pavane, for her dead princess, that there was doubt, and I agree with him on that. There was some doubt that that she didn't want MIMIN to completely fall. And I completely agree with that as well, because she didn't want to, she doesn't want MIMIN to, part of her wants MIMIN to quit, and then there's the other part, that small part of her that doesn't want her to quit. And I think deep down, Melody knows that if she gets MIMIN to quit, that she would be no different than the person that she is setting out to destroy, you know, the real problem, which is Papa Otagami. And MIMIN flat out said at the end of the last chapter that she's starting to get bored of playing the piano, which is a problem. And I said it last week, what Melody should have been doing is, and this is what usually musicians do and artists do, is that when they see someone that's doing better than them, is that they should be pushing themselves. It should be inspiring them to push themselves to be an even better musician or a better artist. And it should inspire them to do better, to competitively do better. Shit, it's the same thing with athletes too. Just saying. But anyways, let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us this week. And this chapter is titled MIMIN Analysis. By the way, Lucky, why are you afraid of the ocean? When I was younger, I almost drowned. Oh, that's tough. I'm glad you survived. The way you said that, Marissa, is just funny. Anyway, you want to create a joyful island for MIMIN Origami, right? Yeah, I don't want her to hate the piano. Instead of scolding her for liking the wrong kind of freedom, I want to praise her for liking the right kind. Let's look at this. Instead of scolding her for liking the wrong kind of freedom, I want to praise her for liking the right kind. Got to think about this. Is very interesting because you can kind of relate this to what we are experiencing, and also kind of relate. And I think Impala is kind of hitting on something that's going on in Japan, and I've been covering this as well on this channel, is how people are trying to dictate what is the right kind of expression, the right kind of art, where that isn't the right, where no, it's not. You can't dictate what is art to somebody. No, you can't do that. People have their own opinions. Art is subjective. So, and it's really there is a war on art going on in especially in the West. There's a serious war on art, on how not just art, on how someone can express themselves in general. And what Lucky wants to do is, because MIMIN was getting scolded for wanting to express herself and be free to express herself in her own way. He wants to praise her for it. That's okay to want to express yourself this way. It's your music. You don't have to be stuck playing music this certain way. It's you should be able to interpret the piece your way. You should be able to play the piano your way. You shouldn't have to be punished for playing piano your way or interpreting the piece your way. That's where he's going with this, and I'm glad Lucky is doing this. I'm very, very happy for it. That's what he means by the right kind. I know, God, it's just really hitting me because I hate when I get told that I have the wrong opinion about something when it's my fucking opinion, unless you bring me facts. And it's just, if you bring me facts and back up that my opinion is wrong, then fine. But when you're just saying that you're wrong, it's like because it's like, what? Stupid. That's so you, Lucky. I think it's a good idea. When you play for the sake of someone else, your performance is really wonderful. There's one thing I've been wondering about. During the preliminary, why did MIMIN Origami's trees become distorted? When I was at Sadame Hina's home, I listened to a lot of performances by MIMIN Origami, and at times the trees would end up distorted. I got a sense of deja vu from it, so I looked into it and found out Melody Yamanaka used to play that way. In a past interview, MIMIN Origami said she enjoyed the distorted trees. What do you make of that? Since you're one of the septuplets. I think she was trying to add things she liked so she wouldn't hate the piano. Maybe she did it subconsciously. I hate green peppers. I'm gonna add some tiramisu. Mima would do things like that since she was a kid. I see. Then she should include the fairies. That way, when she plays to please the general audience, they'll still see glimpses of her unorthodox interpretation of the music, and it'll be more interesting. I agree with this. Why not include her fairies in the distorted forest? Why not? Why not include that? It would be more interesting if she included herself in the piece instead of someone else's interpretation, whether it be Melody's interpretation or just the composer's interpretation. That's the problem with MIMIN, is she doesn't have, and this is what's been going on with her, and this is why I like what's happening here, is that MIMIN doesn't have her own voice. She's not allowed to have her own voice. And what Lucky is going to do here is tell her that it's okay for her to have her own voice, which I think is extremely important. That's a great idea. I want to create a joyful island like that. Oh, but right, for Elise Rangers take on monsters and Beethoven wanders in the forest. So her fairies can wander the forest. The same might happen in this classical music world. You know what Dawn often says? Haydn, Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Liszt, Brahms. This is the world that they created, the world that plays their pieces, the world that listens to their pieces. Sora, ooh, huh? Where'd that girl go? She said she was gonna look for MIMIN. So, Sora Chico, why? This is a world that's existed since long ago. Huh? I don't know why I'm starting to get emotional because of this. Maybe it's hitting me because I understand it's hitting my musicianness. But God, it really is hitting me. It's making me. It's making me emotional. I don't know if you're even if you're not a musician, I don't know if it's hitting you. Like, it's making me feel like it's really hitting me emotionally. Huh? Do you mean the classical music world? Yeah. Maybe in the beginning, artists drew audiences in and created this world. But over the years, those first audiences passed down their experiences to future audiences. Now, the audience gives birth to artists. That doesn't work with MIMIN. What? What do you mean it doesn't work with her? Then what should MIMIN do? Would it be better if she just left? For MIMIN, rather than being told what to do in someone else's world, it'd be better for her to be in her own world and have requests made of her there. Exactly! Walking that path requires strength. She might exhaust herself and die. It'll be all right. She won't die. If she's in trouble, I'll help her. Yeah, I realized lately there's a lot more I can do. I'm not strong enough yet, and I get a lot of help from people, but that's how we grow to be adults. I can help her. I won't hold anything back from my beloved siblings. Lucky, you're a good person. You're kind and really unpredictable. You need to have an interesting performance. And if you do, I'll be sure to do something for the performance too. I think it'll be in your best interest. Ooh! What does Sora Chica mean by this? I think he means that he's going to be there for him, for not just Lucky, for MIMIN too. He's gonna, because Lucky said that he might not be strong enough to do this alone, to help MIMIN through this. And I think Sora Chica is saying that he'll be there too. If he's not strong enough to help MIMIN, that he's going to be there too. This is going to be powerful as hell. I'm looking forward to this. This arc right here is going to be extremely powerful. Because, and I knew this one in particular was going to be very powerful. MIMIN's was going to be powerful in particular. Because MIMIN is all about, remember, MIMIN is all about freedom. And she has been stifled for the majority of her life, maybe even all her life. She has been stifled. She has been held back. And her creativity has been stifled, and her creativity has been held back from what she's been wanting to do. And just imagine if her fairies were in that distorted forest. Because, like, I can understand, you know what, just thinking about it, you can understand why Melly is pissed and why any artist would be pissed if someone was stealing your art. It felt like an artist was stealing their hard work, especially especially like a prodigy like MIMIN. But if there's an artist who is inspired by your work and makes it their own, that's different, and there's magic to be had there. But I understand what they're talking about when it comes to like being inspired, you know, as by the audience being inspired, which is what MIMIN did in regards to the distorted trees and all that. But with MIMIN, that doesn't work as well for her when it comes to these pieces, for her to really enjoy playing the piano. Because what she was doing with these distorted trees and stuff, this was more of a coping mechanism. That's what it seems like to me. Because remember, MIMIN's not allowed to do what she wants with her piano playing. Because it seems to me that for MIMIN, she has more fun with her own interpretations of the pieces, with her own world building. So this is going to be very interesting to see how these worlds collide. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how M. Apollo does this. But I understand where they're going with it, where he's going with this. I do. I completely get it. Because some people, it's the same thing with mangaka. I can understand it in terms of manga as well. Some mangaka are inspired by other series, and they'll take like elements of different series, combine it, and make it their own. But then there are other series that are complete clusterfucks, like Doron, or say Phantom Seer, that just are clusterfucks, and they're inspired by all these series, and it just doesn't work. They can't make it their own. Then there's oh my god. Then there's series that are like completely original. I feel like Orient's the best example of this. There's series that are like completely original, like Orient, where it's their own world. If that makes sense. Or shit, Witch Watch. Witch Watch is its own thing. Sakamoto Days is technically its own thing too. But it just depends on the artist. I hope that makes sense, but I feel like M. Apollo is kind of making a commentary on like how different artists work, how different artists process things. It's just how things are, and it's the same thing as he said with music too, whether it be classical or rock or modern. With modern day music, I really like this a lot. There's so many ways to interpret this. There really is. And you can apply this to so many things, and especially in terms of art. You really, really can. Musicals are another one, too. Hamilton's the best example of this, where you take elements of different genres of music and make it your own. And hell, take an inspiration from like history and do your own interpretation of it, if that makes sense too. And I really like this a lot. I like this manga a lot. I feel like the stifle freedom is kind of like what the stifle creativity and the stifle freedom that's being discussed here is kind of like what's happening with art in the, because I remember what I was talking about with the war on art in the West. It's exactly what's happening in the West. This commentary is a good explanation of what's happening in the West as well when it comes to like reboots and all this shit that's going on here in the West. It's just, this is such a fucking brilliant chapter. I love this fucking manga. You gotta wonder why it's doing so well. And oh god, this manga is just amazing. It hits me in so many ways. It does. But I'm very curious what you guys think of this. What do you guys think of this chapter? Can you relate to this on a personal level? What do you think about like applying this not just to like classical music, but just in general to like different genres of art, um, or different genres of music? I can see it, and hell, look at anime. It's the same thing. You can apply it to anime. I gave examples of manga you can apply it to. It's not just limited to music at all, and I love it. So I love how this writing is. It's just so good. It's just so good. But I can't wait to see how Sorachika supports Lucky with this. The art is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigensing. Love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive and kicking so I can keep bringing you more PPPPPPP greatness. You wish you can do that. Donate to my Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.